Hey everyone, welcome back. We're here at Consensus 2024. I'm so excited for this next interview. Today I'll be speaking with Sandy Carter. She is the COO of Unstoppable Domains. Hi Sandy.
How's it going? You're everywhere. You're like a fashion goddess here at Consensus.
Well, Sandy, you're everywhere also. I'm following you on X and you're at every single event at Consensus. So that's awesome. You're so involved with the community. Before we get started with the interview, maybe tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and Unstoppable Domains.
Yeah, so Unstoppable Domains is a digital identity platform, and we believe that owning your own data is so very important. And so our digital identity system is based on blockchain. We mint everything on Polygon. And if you think about a digital identity, that represents who you are. So you want to own that digital identity. Some of the use cases for digital identity are resolving a crypto address. So if you think about way back when in the internet and you typed in 12349.123 to get to an internet address, now you just type in Amazon.com. Well, now you can do that with the digital identity with your wallet address. So instead of typing all the 21 characters and digits, you can just type in sandy.crypto or sandy.nft. We do 30 million transactions a week just in resolving that. And then our second most used use case is a group chat. So like we just announced a .pudgy, and for Pudgy Penguins, Luca, the CEO, he has a couple of groups like his influencers, his storytellers, and they now can communicate in an encrypted chat, which people think is very powerful, especially in the Web3 community. They want everything encrypted.
Yeah, wonderful. So obviously that's solving a real world problem. So can you actually send Bitcoin or Ethereum and those transactions just by using that name?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Not using the wallet address?
Yes, because what happens is it resolves to the wallet address. It takes your sandy.crypto and it resolves it to the 21 characters and digits, and then will reverse resolves it as well.
Yeah.
So it's a really neat function that really started as our very first use case back in 2018, believe it or not, which is like decades in crypto years, right? And it's still our number one use case today.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah. So Sandy, you mentioned that there's also branded domains now, like .austin and others. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're really excited. So one of the things that we found is we introduced a few branded TLDs like .polygon, .blockchain for blockchain.com, and we found that the communities really rallied around it, a lot because of that group chat capability, because now a community for .polygon or .pudgy can all get together and have that encrypted chat. And so I guess I would say back to popular demand, we decided to launch a few more. One of the most significant, since we're in Austin, Texas, is we did .austin, which we were super excited about because it's really geared for citizens. So you can think about tokenizing, your driver's license, tokenizing your title, tokenizing your membership in the Chamber of Commerce. Not all of those are here today, but Austin being this innovative city, I worked with Mark Duvall, who's the head of the Greater Austin Asian Chamber of Commerce. Being that visionary, they're ready for the future when everything gets tokenized.
Right. So could I potentially do Rachel.Austin?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
How would I do that?
So what you would do is you would go online to unstoppabledomains.com and you would type in Rachel and you would select .Austin and then purchase it. It would be for a fee, one-time fee, so we don't do a subscription charge.
Okay.
And then once you had Rachel.Austin, now you're able to leverage and use everything that's possible with that particular TLD or top level domain.
So I could have it, so I know on your X handle, you're sandy.austin now.
Yep.
So people could actually do like Rachel.Austin on your social media accounts.
Absolutely.
And then if I wanted to send crypto, I could use that as the address instead of the whole long.
That's right. You got it.
Amazing.
And then, as they digitize, so we digitize for South by Southwest, that you had been to South by Southwest if you were here. We can digitize you've been to Consensus, or Austin just did an amazing night market. So replicating almost like what you do in Hong Kong or Singapore.
Oh.
They did that here in Austin over the weekend.
Wow.
And it was super cool because we were selling our .Austin, and it was just like a great, night market .Austin kind of experience.
Yeah.
And helping to educate citizens as to what's coming, right? Because it's not here yet. We always talk about we have a long way to go, or we're just early. And I do think that that's true. And so we're just getting everybody ready for all the big reveals, if you would.
Right. No, that's wonderful. Can you talk a little bit about how maybe the Web2 community, or just like people that are not in the crypto space, are reacting to, things like the branded domains?
Yeah. So it's interesting. So we announced .Austin, and that really taught us a lot because it's citizens in Austin. So it's just like my mom and my dad. And so, when you use a domain, you place it in your wallet. And that was a little challenging, right? First of all, they're like, oh my gosh, there's 500 wallets. Which one do I choose? How do I set it up? And so it got a little hard. So today we actually introduced something called the Unstoppable Light wallet. It's a wallet for domains. So now you can, as you're checking out with your Rachel.Austin, you can just select that you want that light wallet, and it stores that domain in there so you can use it and leverage it as well.
Yeah.
So it's a really easy way. We really designed this for domainers to use and leverage.
Okay.
So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, no, we should definitely get some footage of the wallet.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'm assuming it's live and people are using it,
It's
right?
live, and we've got a couple of little videos too I can give you as well as some really high-res clips as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
So Sandy, you also hosted a women's brunch here, a Women in Web3 event, and you do this everywhere you go. You always host these women-focused events, which I love because obviously I'm a woman in the industry. So what's your goal behind these events, and how are you helping bring more women into Web3?
So these events, the real goal of them is to get women together in real life to form real relationships. Like you and I know each other, so I can call you, you can call me, and we can get help. But a lot of women don't have that. And if you look at the numbers, it's still only 8% of the population in crypto are women. So it's still like single digits. That's ridiculous. And so what I'm hoping is that we're creating these environment of inclusivity so everybody can come and participate. So we do a lot of things digitally, but there's nothing like a real world connection. And that's why I host these in person. And this one was really cool because we had 10 sponsors. 10. So that tells you how many companies are really interested in encouraging that diverse population to come over and participate in this.
Right.
So for example, on the panel, we had Lisa Loud, who's the executive director of Secret Network. We had just launched a .secret with them, so that was really cool. We also had Ashley, who is a big influencer in the space. She has 2.3 million followers. And she's very much into encouraging more women and teaching more women about the space. So that was really special to me. We also had Ian for Push Protocol, which is what we use for our group chat. But the important thing there is he volunteered to be on the panel. And I got a little flack for it on Twitter. I posted the panel, and they're like, why do you have a guy on the panel? Like, this is a women's event. And I was like, we need allies. Like, how can you have an inclusive event and not welcome men to come?
Right.
And to be on the panel. And he was amazing. Yeah. So he runs their, for Push Protocol, he runs their investment funds. After he saw the event, we had 160 women there, and he talked to the women. He came back to me and he said, I'm going to start a special fund for female founders.
That's amazing.
And I was like, yes, that's like one of the results I wanted.
Yeah. Women
to connect, guys to have their, to understand what's going on and to help us and focus on what we really need in the equation.
Yeah.
I also just added to it AI. So we have 58,000 members. And the women were saying, we love women of Web3, but we really want women of Web3 and AI because everything's converging, right? You see blockchain helping AI, AI helping blockchain. And so I thought it was really cool that we added that in, and we had a couple of speakers on the panel as well who were AI experts. So that really brought everything together, just because we're seeing so much convergence, right? The C word is now being used everywhere. And I think that's going to help. AI is going to help propel blockchain forward.
Right, yeah. And I was at the brunch and I thought it was a great panel, and I loved the diversity of the panel. So I think it was excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of AI, does Unstoppable have any plans to like implement AI or anything like that?
So we already use AI in our portfolio. So you can get an AI avatar. You can get one from a game, or we'll help you create it using AI, which is really cool. So you can submit your picture or something that symbolizes you, and it will create an avatar for you. And then when people come in, you know, a lot of times people will say, okay, I want Rachel.Austin, or I want Rachel.Secret. But I also want something that embodies my brand. And so you can go in and you can type in, you know, I'm fashionable like Rachel is. And you can type in all these things, and it'll come back and suggest names for you.
Oh, nice.
That's all driven by AI as well. And then, of course, we use AI inside of our business. We use it for customer support, making sure that we can provide the best answers as fast as possible. We use it for some of our marketing. So we're using it for some of our documentation. So we're both supplying it as a, you know, for customers, and using it as a customer too.
Right, wonderful. Sandy, what are your thoughts on, you know, digital identity in general, and how do you hope to see that evolve moving forward?
So my hope is that everybody will have a digital identity. Part of our mission is to get a digital identity into the hands of everybody on the planet. Right now we have 3.9 million. There's 7 billion people in the universe, so we have a little ways to go, because we do believe it is a human right. It's something that's essential to every person. Going forward, one of the things I would love to see is data from healthcare being stored on chain inside your digital identity. Obviously private, so it's got privacy protecting it. But I had an accident in Brazil, and I needed emergency surgery. I broke like everything on my left side. I needed emergency surgery, but the hospital couldn't operate without all my records. It took 3 days, which impacted my health. And that's just one example. I was just with 100 healthcare startups in New York City, and they were telling me that the number one reason for misdiagnosis in the US is that doctors get siloed information. So they don't know about your dental, your allergies, and everything else. And so these healthcare companies are now looking at this across the board to provide you with your data and being able to share it in a digital identity. In fact, one of the guys I met after the panel at our Women of Web3 and AI event came up to me and he said, you talked a little bit about that. I'm going to release one application next week. So I think that's going to be powerful if we can get that in healthcare in the US.
For sure.
And then, you know, all the stuff that Austin is doing for citizens. A friend of mine is not from the US, and her family lives in South America. She needs her birth certificate. Her mom can't find it.
Oh no.
And how do you get your birth certificate? It's from another country. She no longer lives there. Her mother doesn't live there. How do you get it? So imagine if when you were born, you were given a digital birth certificate that was tokenized, and then that would stay with you forever.
Right.
So there's just so many powerful use cases. I know we still have a ways to go because we need to make it easier for Web2 users, but I do believe that the impact of digital identity can be far-reaching for everybody on the planet.
For sure, definitely. And you guys are doing such a great job, especially with bringing more women into the space. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Sandy? Any thoughts about Consensus this year, or anything that you want to share?
Well, I've really enjoyed Consensus this year. I think it's been very unique and differentiated in like special ways. There were several women's brunches, which I really enjoyed. I went to combat karate last night.
Oh yeah,
Did you go?
I didn't go, but I saw it on your X. Everybody went except me. It's like I missed the memo. But anyways,
oh my
whatever.
gosh, it was packed, and it was so cool. It's supposedly, this is what they said. They said it was the most viral sport, especially in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
And who's sponsoring it? Kraken. crypto company.
Yeah.
Hedera, crypto company.
Right.
Squid Grow, crypto company. So it's kind of cool. Like the most viral sport is really backed by tons of crypto Web3 companies. I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good ad this year.
Totally.
And then I thought the sessions here were really good, very deep, not surface, like some of the gaming stuff I learned about, some of the new regulations that I learned about. There were some really interesting sessions. So I really had a good time, and I had amazing partner meetings that will yield some new partnership announcements coming up.
Yay, well, keep us posted.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
Okay, thank you, Sandy.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, Rachel.
Yeah.